With the new patch coming out for Baldur's Gate 3, I kind of wanted to go over some of the new subclasses coming out. So, based on what we know, each of the main classes will be getting a unique subclass, totaling to 12 new ones to try out. A few caveats before we begin. This is not verified by Larian, and these 100% might not be the abilities these classes receive. It's more or less just informed speculation based on the info we have from the books. So, with all that out of the way, let's get started. And be sure to let me know which one you're most excited to try out in the upcoming patch. So, going in alphabetical order, because why not, we have the Bard, College of Glamour. Now, at level 3, you're going to get the Mantle of Inspiration. You use your Bardic Inspiration to grant temporary hit points to allies and allow them to move without provoking opportunity attacks. Additionally, at level 3, you'll gain Enthralling Performance, which is after a short performance, you can charm multiple creatures, binding them with your captivating presence. At level 6, you'll gain Mantle of Majesty, which allows you to use Command as a bonus action, enhancing your ability to kind of dictate the flow of combat. Now, you don't get any additional subclass features from some of the later levels, but the ones you already have get improved upon, scaling with your Charisma score, your Bardic Inspiration die, and spellcasting abilities. Coming in at number 2 is the Path of the Giant's Barbarian. Now at 3rd level you gain Giant's Havoc, which is while raging you gain an increased reach. Your melee weapon attacks gain an additional 5 feet of reach. You also have Massive Strength, which is once per turn when you hit a target with a melee weapon or thrown weapon, you can add your rage damage bonus as an extra damage die, of that weapon's type of course. And you can also learn Elemental Infusion, which lets you kind of learn a Druidcraft or Thaumaturgy cantrip. At level 6, you get Elemental Cleaver, a weapon empowerment that, when you rage, allows you to imbue a weapon you're holding with an elemental force. Choose acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder, whatever your flavor is. The weapon deals an extra 1d6 damage of the chosen type, and it gains the Thrown property with a range of 20 to 60 feet. If it already has the Thrown property, the range increases by 20 feet. Now, after being thrown, the weapon magically returns to your hand. Now, on top of that, you also get Area of Effect. When you hit with the empowered weapon, you can deal the elemental damage to all creatures within 10 feet of the target, and this affects a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus. And at level 10 you gain Mighty Impel, which allows you to use your bonus action to throw a creature within 30 feet of you. Now, the creature has to succeed a strength saving throw, but on a fail, the target is thrown to an unoccupied space within 30 feet of you and takes damage along the way. Now, coming in at number 3, we have Cleric, the Death Domain. At level 1, you gain Reaper, which allows your Necromancy cantrips that would normally target just one creature, target 2 creatures, but they have to be within a range of 5 feet of each other. At level 2, you gain Channel Divinity Touch of Death, which is when you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can use your Channel Divinity to deal extra necrotic damage. And at level 6, you gain Inescapable Destruction, allowing your necrotic damage to ignore resistances, ensuring your spells and abilities remain effective. At level 8, you gain Divine Strike, which is you gain the ability to infuse your weapon strike with necromantic energy. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, it takes an extra 1d8 necrotic damage. And at level 12, you gain 2 uses of your Channel Divinity. Number 4 is the Druid Circle of Stars. At level 2 you gain Starry Form, which as a bonus action you can enter a starry form instead of using Wild Shape to transform into a beast. While in this form, starry patterns shimmer across your body and you gain one of the following benefits. You can either have it deal radiant damage, which allows you to use a bonus action on subsequent turns to make ranged spell attacks to creatures within 60 feet, dealing radiant damage. You could also use it for a healing focus, which is when you cast a spell that restores health, you or another creature within 30 feet regains additional hit points. There's also utility focus, which is you gain a 10-minute bonus to intelligence and wisdom checks for concentration, and the ability to maintain concentration even if you roll a natural 1. Now at level 6 you gain Cosmic Omen, which basically gives you a die and allows you to either add or subtract a 1d6 from a creature's roll, depending on if that die was either an even or an odd roll. At level 10, you gain Twinkling Constellation. Your starter form becomes more powerful. The radiant damage is increased, the healing is increased, and you gain a flying speed of 20 feet. Additionally, you can change starter form constellation at the start of each turn, adding adaptability. Coming in at number 5 is the Paladin, Oath of the Crown. Level 3, you gain Oath spells. At 3rd level, you'll gain Command and Compel Duel. Additionally, at level 3, you'll gain 2 Channel Divinities, one of them being Champion Challenge, the other being Turn the Tide. Now, Champion's Challenge allows you to use a bonus action. You compel a creature of your choice within 30 feet to make a Wisdom saving throw, and on a failure, they can't willingly move more than 30 feet away from you for 1 minute or until they're incapacitated. Now, Turn the Tide allows you to use a bonus action to restore hit points to each creature of your choice within 30 feet. At level 7, you'll gain Divine Allegiance. When a creature within 5 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to take the damage instead. This damage is unaffected by resistance or immunity. And at level 11, your melee attacks will automatically deal 1 to 8 radiant damage. At number 6, we have the Fighter, Arcane Archer. Now at level 3, you gain Arcane Archer Lore, which gives you proficiency in either Arcana or Nature skills. Additionally, you gain access to Arcane Shot options. At 3rd level, you learn 2 of these, Beguiling Arrow, Bursting Arrow, Enfeebling Arrow, Grasping Arrow, Piercing Arrow, or Shadow Arrow. And at level 7, you gain Banishing Arrow and Seeking Arrow. Also at level 7, if you decide not to use any of your arcane shots, all of your arrows now count as magical for the sake of overcoming resistances. Additionally, you gain Curving Shot. When you make a ranged weapon attack and miss, you can use a bonus action to re-roll the attack against a different target within 60 feet of the original. Now at level 10, you gain Ever Ready Shot. This allows you to gain an additional use of Arcane Shot if you roll initiative and have no uses of it left. Now at number 7 is one of my personal favorites, the Monk, Way of the Drunken Master. At 3rd level, you gain Drunken Technique. Whenever you use your Flurry of Blows, you gain the benefit of the Disengage action, and your walking speed is increased by 10 feet at the end of your turn. Now at level 6, you gain 2 abilities from the Tipsy Sway. One of them is called Leap to Your Feet. When you're prone, you can stand up by using only 5 feet of your movement speed instead of half. And the other one is Redirect Attack. So when a creature misses you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to cause that attack to hit another creature of your choice within 5 feet of you. And at level 11, you gain the Drunkard's Luck. Starting at level 11, you can spend 2 key points to cancel disadvantage on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, which is pretty good. And at level 12, your key points increase to 12, you gain an additional 5 feet of movement speed, and your martial arts damage increases. Now at number 8 is the Swarm Keeper Ranger. At level 3, you gain your regular Primeval Awareness, but you also gain the Swarm Keeper magic. This gives you access to Fairy Fire, and learn 1 cantrip from the Druid spell list. Now at level 7, your movement speed will increase by 5 feet. At level 10, you'll gain Hide in Plain Sight, which allows you to use your surroundings to conceal yourself, even when only lightly obscured. You also get more Swarm Keeper magic, gain the ability to cast Gaseous Form once per long rest. Now at number 9 is another personal favorite of mine, the Swashbuckler Rogue. At level 3, you get Fancy Footwork, which is basically mobile feet at level 3. After making a melee attack, you don't provoke opportunity attacks from that creature for the rest of your turn. You also get Rakish Audacity. You can use Sneak Attack against a creature if no other enemies are within 5 feet of you, and you gain advantage on Charisma checks against creatures that aren't hostile to you and your allies. Now, level 4 through 8 are kind of your standard roguish abilities, expertise, and whatnot, but at level 9 you gain Panache. This allows you to expend 1 use of a Bardic Inspiration. You heard that right. To charm or distract an enemy. If you charm, they are charmed by you for 1 minute or until you or allies harm them. If distracting, you gain advantage on your next attack roll against that creature. Now, coming in at number 10 is the Shadow Magic Sorcerer. Now, starting at level 1, you gain Dark Vision of 120 feet and the ability to create a Shadow Hound, which appears as a shadowy creature with temporary hit points. And at level 6, you gain Hound of Ill Omen, which allows you to, as a bonus action, use 3 sorcery points to summon the Hound. It appears in an unoccupied space you can see within 120 feet, and it has stats based on your level and persists until it's destroyed or dismissed. Additionally, at level 6, you gain Shadow Walk. When you are in dim light or darkness, as a bonus action you can teleport up to 120 feet to an unoccupied space you can see that is also in dim light or in darkness. This can be done once per long rest, but you can use a sorcery point to regain the ability. Now at number 11 we have the Hexblade Warlock. Starting at level 1 you'll gain Hexblade's Curse. Once per short or long rest you can curse one creature you can see within 30 feet. Target's cursed for a minute or until it dies or you're incapacitated. From this you'll gain a couple of benefits such as extra damage on each of your hits, critical hits on a 19 instead of a 20, and you'll regain hit points if the target dies while cursed. You also gain Hex Warrior. You can choose one weapon you touch and it becomes your packed weapon while you're holding it. You can use your charisma modifier for the attack and damage rolls with this weapon. Also you gain proficiency in medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. Now at level 6 you'll gain a Cursed Spectre. When you kill a humanoid with your Hexblade's Curse, you can bind its soul to your service as a spectre for 1 hour. And also, at level 10 you'll gain the Armor of Hexes. If the target of your Hexblade's Curse hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to roll a d6, and on a 4 or higher, the attack misses you. And last but not least, we have the Wizard, the Blade Singing Wizard that is. Now starting at level 2 you get the Arcane Tradition feature. Training in war and song. Do this, you gain proficiency with light armor and one type of one-handed weapon of your choice. Now at level 6 you'll gain an additional Arcane Tradition feature, Extra Attack. When you use the attack action while your blade song is active, you can make an additional attack. You'll also gain one at level 10 called the Song of Defense. And when you take damage, you can use your reaction to spend one spell slot and reduce the damage by 5 times the level of that spell slot. Now, I didn't go over every single ability or every single level of every single subclass, but I just kind of hit the bullet points on some of the more important and more fun options that we're going to be seeing potentially. So now that we know and have a better idea of how these classes are going to play out, let me know what you think. Which one are you most excited for? Personally, I think the Swashbuckling Rogue and the Drunken Master are going to be some of the most fun of the game. Thank you for watching. Until next time.